حبايبي طلبة وطالبات الصف الثالث الإعدادي لغات، أهلا وسهلا بيكم في حلقة جديدة من حلقة مادة الماث تحت رعاية وإشراف وزارة التربية والتعليم. وفي حلقة النهاردة هنعمل ريفيجن على lesson 1 وهنبدأ إن شاء الله lesson 2. ويلا بينا نبدأ. And now we will start to solve some questions about lesson 1. هنحل شوية أسئلة على lesson 1 قبل ما نبدأ في lesson 2. Question number 1. If I have two sets, the first set X, A and B, and the second set Y, 3 and 5 and 7, and the third set 5 and 7 and 9. I want to represent the sets X and Y and Z by Venn diagram, then find the Cartesian product of the set X by the union of Y and Z. Okay, let's start. Number 1, we want to represent the sets by Venn diagram. احنا درسنا Venn diagram in grade 5 and also in prep 1. As we can see in Venn diagram, the set X is alone because the elements of X are A and B. There is no common elements between X and Y and Z, so the set X contains A and B alone, and if you see Y and Z, there are two elements, 5 and 7, are common between Y and Z. So we will put them in the intersection part, which is between Y and Z. And we have here 3 is only for Y and 9 is only for Z. This is the first required. Represent them by Venn diagram. After that, I want to find the Cartesian product of X by Y union Z. ممكن حد يسألني ويقول لي يا مستر احنا في الحصة اللي فاتت جبنا الكارتيزيان product of X and Y. We can just write A with 3, A with 5, A with 7, and then B with 3, B with 5, B with 7. And now in this question, I want to find first what between the brackets. عايز أجيب الأول اللي between brackets. يعني محتاج أجيب Y union Z. Okay? So, Y union Z first. It means all elements that are in Y and Z without repeat. So, I will write 3 and 5 and 7. I write 5, so I will not write it again. Also, I wrote 7, so I will not write it again. And then I will write 9. وبرضه ممكن تجيبها من Venn diagram. The union of Y and Z is all elements you can see here. 3, 5, 7, and 9. After that, I want to find the Cartesian product of the set X, which is A and B, and the set of union of Y and Z. عايزين نجيب ال Cartesian product of the set X. هكتبها الأول A and B, and the Cartesian product of Y and Z. Y and Z together, which are 3, 5, 7, 9. طيب فاكرين كنا بنعملها ازاي الحصة اللي فاتت؟ أيوه كنا بناخد the first element هنا اللي هو A. Okay? A with 3 and write them in ordered pair. هنكتب ال A with 3 في ordered pair, and this is the first element. And then A with 5 وهناخد ال A مع ال 5, and then A with 7 and also A with 9. يبقى كده كتبت ال A with all elements of the second set. خلصنا ال A نخش على ال B. So B and 3, B and 5, B and 7, B and 9. So if you count how many elements we have, if you count here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 elements in the Cartesian product. Okay? And also we explained that we can calculate the number of elements before we do this step. لما قلنا الحلقة اللي فاتت إن number of elements of the first set 2 and the number of elements of the second set 4, if you multiply 2 by 4, you will get 8. So the number of elements of the Cartesian product of the two sets together equals 8. Now we have some questions also about the previous lesson. Number 1, choose the correct answer. The point 4 and negative 3 lies on which quadrant? Let's remember, I have 4 quadrants as we said. This is the first, and this is the second, and this is the third, and this is the fourth. The first quadrant, both x and y are positive. The second quadrant, x is negative and y is positive. The third quadrant, both x and y are negative. So negative and negative. And the fourth quadrant, you can see that x is positive and y is negative. Now it's easy to solve this question. أعتقد بقت سهلة. The point 4 and the negative 3. 4 is positive and the negative 3 is negative. So positive and the negative. I can see positive and the negative in the fourth quadrant. So the answer of this question is fourth. Question number 2. Which of the following represent points lie on the third quadrant? مين من الفور points دول موجودة في الثيرد quadrant؟ Okay, the third quadrant both are negative. So I will choose the ordered pair which contains 2 negative numbers. هنلاقي إن the last one is in third quadrant. Now, question number 3. If the point A and the 3 minus A lies on the x-axis. في الحصة اللي فاتت قلنا any point on the x-axis so its y value equals 0. يبقى لازم ناخد بالنا من الملحوظة دي. Any point on the x-axis, any point here on x, its y equals 0. So I will write this equation 3 minus a equals 0. So 3 minus a equals 0, and now I can solve this equation easily by isolate a alone on the right side with positive. So a equals 3. So the correct answer here is 3. Let's see the fourth question. B is less than 2 and the point b minus 2 and 4 lies on which quadrant? طيب عشان احل السؤال دوت هو بيقول لي the value of b is less than 2. يبقى هختار any number less than 2. I can choose 1, I can choose 0, I can choose negative 1, any number less than 2. أي number less than 2 I can substitute by it. So the easiest one is 0. I know that 0 is less than 2. If I put here 0, لو أنا حطيت مكان ال b 0 حضرتك قلت يا مستر b is less than 2 يبقى اختار any number less than 2 like 0. Now 0 minus 2 equals negative 2 and the second number is 4. أعتقد بقت سهلة. مين يقدر يجاوبني؟ هايل. Negative and the positive exist in the second quadrant. So I will choose second. Now the last question. If the point x minus 3, 4 minus x, where x belongs to z, lies on the fourth quadrant. Before you start to solve, قبل ما نبدأ الحل, the fourth quadrant was positive on x and the negative on y. In this question, we will check all the choices. هنجرب التشويسز الموجودة معايا. يعني if I put here 2, لو حطيت هنا 2, يا ترى هوصل للفورث quadrant which is positive and the negative. يلا نجرب. If you put here 2 instead of x, 2 minus 3 equals negative 1. And I want the first one positive, not negative. So 2 cannot be the value of x. Let's try 3. If I put here 3, 3 minus 3 equals 0. And 0 neither positive nor negative. So I cannot choose 0 as a positive number. طيب نجرب ال 4. If you write here 4, 4 minus 3 is 1. Good, it's a positive number. But 4 minus 4 in the second projection equals 0. I said I want a positive in the first projection and the negative in the second projection. So 4 cannot be. Now let's try the last value, which is 5. If you put here 5, 5 minus 3 equals, excellent, it's 2. If you put here 5, so the value will be 2. And if you put here 5, also 4 minus 5 equals negative 1. And now this point belongs to the fourth quadrant. So the value of x for this question is 5. And now we finished the first lesson. Then we will start our lesson today, which is lesson 2 in algebra, the relation. Okay, let's go. And now let's start lesson 2 in algebra, which is relation. Now, what's the meaning of relation? The relation from set x to set y, it means a relation between two sets, is connection that connects some or all elements of the first set x with some or all elements of the set y. يبقى relation, it's a connection, connects some or all elements of x with some or all elements of y. And the relation denoted by the symbol R capital like this. Okay? Now, the relation from x to y also is a set of ordered pairs. ايه ده؟ دي كده زي الكارتيزيان product. It's also set of ordered pairs. The first projection belongs to the first set x, and the second projection belongs to the second set y. And the first projection connected with the second projection by this relation. يعني في relation بتربط element تخليه يختار element in the second side. Okay? Also, if I have ordered pair A and B, ordered pair A and B belongs to relation where A belongs to x and B belongs to y. So we can express it as A R B. A R B means the element x or the element A related with the element B by the relation. And now the relation R from the set x to the set y is a subset of the Cartesian product x and y. دي أهم ملحوظة في الريليشن. الريليشن بتكون subset of the Cartesian product of x and y. يعني أقدر أكتبها بالشكل ده R subset x Cartesian product y. وزي ما قلنا إن ال x Cartesian product y can be represented by arrow diagram and the Cartesian diagram. Also the relation R can be represented by arrow diagram and Cartesian diagram. ودلوقتي معانا فيديو من بنك المعرفة المصري EKB هنتفرج عليه ونرجع نعلق.
If we have a set x, 2, 4, 6, and R is a relation of x such that A, R, B means A is divisible by B for each A belongs to x, B belongs to x. Write R as a set of ordered pairs that are represented by two arrow diagrams.
وزي ما احنا شايفين الحل احنا قلنا A divisible by B يعني any number in A divisible by B. So 2 divisible by 2, 4 also divisible by 2, 4 divisible by 4, and also 6 divisible by 2 and 6 divisible by 6.
If x is the set of numbers x where x is greater than 0 and less than or equals 4, R is a relation of x such that a plus b equals 4. For every a belongs to x, b belongs to x, write R as a set of ordered pairs.
وطبعا قبل ما ابدا الحل بقول ان الاكس 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 greater than 0 and less than or equal 4. After that, add them.
The opposite figure represents an arrow diagram for the relation R on the set x where x equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Write R and represent it by a Cartesian diagram.
ونحل مع بعض example number 1 on the relation. If I have two sets, the first set 2 and 5 and the second set 1 and 4 and 7, and R is a relation from x to y where A or B means A is less than B. For every A belongs to x and B belongs to y. State the relation, this is the first required, and then represent it by an arrow diagram, this is second required, and by Cartesian diagram, this is the third required. يبقى في السؤال هنا معانا relation، الريليشن دي بندور عليها على اللي بعد كلمة means، يعني A or B means يعني the relation explained by this condition، مشروحة إن ال A related with any number B such that A is less than B، ال A يكون less than B. أول حاجة أنا هقول إن A is 2 or 5، so I will start with 2. ال 2 is less than which number in Y؟ ال 2 هنا أصغر من مين في السكند set؟ هنلاقي إن ال 2 not less than 1، يبقى 2 cannot be related with 1، ما أقدرش أختارها مع ال 1. But 2 is less than 4، يعني 2 less than 4 I can write it as the first ordered pair 2 and 4. أقدر أكتب 2 and 4 أول ordered pair. Also 2 again with 7 because 2 is less than 7، 2 مع 7. طيب كده 2 خلصت، نخش على ال 5. 5 not less than 1، مش هختارها مع ال 1. 5 also not less than 4، مش هختارها مع ال 4. But 5 is less than 7، يبقى هكتبها مع ال 7. هنلاحظ ان الريليشن بتاعتنا has 3 elements، 3 ordered pairs. Then represent it like the previous lesson، نقدر نعملها زي الحصة اللي فاتت بكل سهولة. By arrow diagram put x on the left y on the right and we said 2 and 4 so we have an arrow from 2 to 4. هنرسم arrow from 2 to 4 and don't forget to draw the direction. ما تنساش ترسم الدايركشن بتاع الارو from left to right. 2 and 4 also the second 2 and 7 and the third is 5 with 7 زي ما احنا شايفين في الارو diagram. Also the Cartesian diagram represented by a point, so the Cartesian diagram here I will put x horizontally and y vertically. So 2 with 4 I will put point, 2 with 7 I will put a second point, 5 with 7 a third point. وبكده يبقى خلصنا السؤال and we answered the 3 required، جاوبنا على الثلاث مطلوبات اللي موجودين في السؤال. دي ملحوظة بنقول if R is a relation from x to itself زي ما شفناها في فيديو بنك المعرفة x to x. R is a relation on x and this relation is a subset of the Cartesian product x by x. ونشوف example 2. معانا set x فيها -2 -1 0 1 2 and R is a relation on x. لما تلاقي R is a relation on x ده معناها ان x will be the first and x will be the second set، يعني مش هندور على another set. where A or B means الكلمة اللي بندور عليها. A is additive inverse of the number B. أنا فاكر additive inverse كانت في الصف الأول الإعدادي. Each number has additive inverse if you change the sign. And the 0, its additive inverse is itself 0. يعني additive inverse of 1 هيبقى negative 1. وadditive inverse of negative 1 هيكون ال 1. وadditive inverse of 0 it will be itself يعني نفسه. For every element A belongs to X and B belongs to X also. State R يبقى required number 1. Write R as ordered pairs. And then represent it by arrow diagram and Cartesian diagram. أول حاجة هكتب ال R. أول element كان في الست X كان نيجاتيف 2. أكتب جنبه الاديتيف انفرس بتاعه اللي هو أحسنتم هو 2. نيجاتيف 2 and 2. وتاني element نيجاتيف 1 and 1. لأن النيجاتيف 1 its additive inverse 1. والزيرو its additive inverse 0. وال1 its additive inverse نيجاتيف 1. وال2 its additive inverse نيجاتيف 2. بعد كده هرسمهم بالارو دياجرام باي طريقه زي ما شرحناها في الحلقه اللي فاتت. ممكن ارسم ست واحده اكس، ممكن اعملها بنمبر لاين، والاروز هنا ريبريزنت الاوردرد بيرز. والكارتيزيان دياجرام زي ما اتعلمناها just put points x horizontal and x vertical. والاكزامبل الاخير in this example if the opposite arrow diagram represent the relation. معانا هنا الشكل مرسوم arrow diagram. I asked you to state R and represent it by Cartesian diagram. طيب عشان اكتب الاجابه بتاعه R I will follow the arrows. همشي ورا الاسهم واشوف طالع منين ورايح لمين وهي دي الاجابه. يعني مثلا I have an arrow from E to A يبقى اكتب ordered pair في E وبعدين A. طب لو انا من عند ال A there are two arrows from A one of them to D يعني في سهم خرج من ال A لل D هكتب A and D، وسهم تاني من ال A لل C هكتب A and C. حد ممكن يقول لي يا مستر في سهم خارج من ال A راح لل D، هقول له لا ركز في الدايركشن، السهم ده خارج من ال D رايح لل A. So when we go to D هنلاقي السهم خرج من ال D لل A يبقى اكتب D and A، وفي لوب هنا خرج من الدي ورجع تاني للدي يبقى معناها هكتب دي اند دي. ثم من عند السي معانا مفيش اي ارو خرج من السي، بالعكس ده جالها 2 اروز يبقى السي مش هكتب منها حاجه. هاجي عند البي في 2 اروز 1 ارو from B to C يبقى هكتب B and C in ordered pair and there is a loop from B يعني خرج من البي and go back to B هكتب B and B وهي دي الاجابه. then represented by Cartesian diagram زي ما احنا عارفين اللي احنا كتبناه I will represent them as points. يعني A to C هقف عند ال A تحت واطلع لغايه C and put point واحط البوينت وهكذا A and D يبقى from A I will go to D and put point and so on. وبكده يبقى خلصنا الجزء ده من lesson 2 في الالجبرا. على وعد بلقاء ان شاء الله في حلقه جديده من حلقاتنا وشكرا ونلقاكم قريبا.